So far, we've talked about polarity, balance, and neutrality. But now we need to talk about why most people still don't manifest, even when they understand all of this. There is one mistake that collapses polarity completely, and most people make this mistake unconsciously. So stick to the end of this video and you'll be able to avoid it. Here is it. Most people switch roles without realizing it. They don't hold polarity, they blur it. And when polarity collapses, voltage disappears. So now let's discuss the role confusion in polarity balance. This is how it shows up. The feminine side starts trying to control by planning, managing, and forcing direction. Also, the masculine side starts trying to be chosen by waiting, seeking approval, and hoping to be pulled. This role confusion kills charge because polarity only exists when roles are clear. It is just like taking responsibility of masculinity and handing it over to feminine energy. And also it is just like taking responsibility of femininity and handing it over to a masculine energy. This will create confusion because it is just like entering into a place that you are not welcome. It is just like switching role with someone who is very experienced at what they do, and you are being tasked to do exactly what that person does. There will be complications, right? So let us talk about why role confusion destroys voltage. I'm sure that we now understand that polarity requires contrast here, direction on one side, capacity on the other. So when both sides try to do the same thing, there will be no difference in potential. So when there is no difference, there will be no movement. And when there is no movement, there will be no creation. So now let's try and understand overpolarity as imbalance. Sometimes the issue isn't confusion here, it is excess. Too much electric energy looks like burnout. You are in excess electric energy when you are in constant action, when you have no rest, and when you have no receptivity. Also, too much magnetic energy looks like stagnation. You are in state of too much magnetic energy when you have endless sensing, when you are endlessly waiting, and when you have no delivery. Both of these extreme energies drain the system, and that is why it is very important to find balance of both of this energy. Let's discuss leaking charge because this is how energy escapes. So most people lose their powers not in big decisions but in small leaks. Charges leak through overthinking, when you are seeking validation, when you are playing people pleasing, when you are scared of outcomes, or when you have emotional suppression. With all of this said, notice that every leak blurs the signal. Let's talk about the law of polarity loss. Here is the rule. When energy is unclear, manifestation is delayed or distorted. Reality doesn't respond to mixed signals. Reality responds to coherence. In previous segments, we talked about frequency. Back then, we talked about reality responding to certainty. We also talked about how reality doesn't respond to what you think, but we clearly explained how reality responds to who you are. The language of the universe is not English, neither is it Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa, no. The language of the universe is frequency. The universe responds to the frequency at which you vibrate. This is why the universe responds to who you are. Now let's talk about the fix. Even though the correction is simple, it is uncomfortable. Take note of this. You must claim a role, not forever, not as an identity, but in each moment of stage that you are. You are either the electric charge that is the mover or the magnetic field that is the holder. When you try to be both at once, the system collapses. That is why it is important to understand the concept of femininity and masculinity, so you will understand the point at which you are in for your desired reality to come into manifestation. After all said and done, it is now important for you to understand why clarity restores power. Once a role is claimed, the body relaxes. The nervous system stabilizes, the signal sharpens, and the field becomes readable. This will lead to return of polarity, and when polarity returns, movement follows. Most people don't fail to manifest because they lack desire, no. They fail to manifest because they don't know which energy they are using. This is why it is so necessary to understand when to apply your masculine charge and when to apply your feminine field so as to manifest quickly. Manifestation requires clarity. Clarity of role, clarity of energy, clarity of direction. Yesterday we talked about neutrality, but today adds precision. Neutrality stabilizes the field, polarity directs it. You need both. Creation responds when energy knows what it is, and not when it tries to be everything else. Polarity works when you stop switching sides. Polarity works with precision.